Hey everybody, this is Siranaba, and today I'm doing a performance review on the Nike Kyrie 6. So let's go ahead and discuss it. So starting off, we have the traction. The traction is very reminiscent of the Kyrie 5 in terms of how the lines are kind of short and cut up. You also have the all-seeing eye in the forefoot. When I was playing with it on a dusty court, it did a really good job. It handled pretty well. It wasn't as great as the Kyrie 2. I think that was because the Kyrie 2 had the lines are a bit more longer, and as you kind of see, these were kind of like cut up in really neat little pieces. They just did it to be kind of different, but overall, it did a really good job. I did have a little bit of slippage every once in a while, but it was barely noticeable. I did like the fact that the outsole does come up to the side of the shoe, so that was really helpful when I was playing, especially when you're posting up or you're trying to do a quick crossover or a type of cut on the court and you're going like this. So that's really helpful. But overall, the traction did a great job. I was really pleased with it, especially on a dusty court. I don't recommend you playing with these outside. These ones are really pliable and they're really bendable, and I have a feeling it's going to burn out pretty easily on an outside court. So with the cushioning, you have a Phylon midsole, and within that cushioning, you have the same setup in the forefoot, which is the Zoom Turbo. If you're not familiar with Zoom Turbo, essentially it's an articulated Zoom bag. So it's meant to kind of curve right here like this along the footbed. And the reason for that is because Kyrie, the way he plays, he plays kind of off kilter, so he likes to bend left and right on the medial and lateral side a lot. So they developed a Zoom bag to fit him perfectly. The Kyrie 5 had a plastic moderator plate here. It kind of stabilized the Zoom bag, but I believe they got rid of that because this portion right here, this feels like a softer plastic than to the Kyrie 5. The designer of the Kyrie 6 did say they reduce the midsole by 5% to create a better court feel, which was really evident when I was playing with it. I felt really closer to the ground, and the zoom air was really responsive. It was pretty similar to the Kyrie 5, so there was no definite upgrades, but it did have a closer feel when I was playing. The heel in the back doesn't have any zoom air at all, and it was a little bit stiff. It took me a couple of games to break it in, but after it was broken in, it did okay. It felt kind of weird because the Zoom Turbo, you can really feel it, but then when you play back in your heel, you don't feel anything. So that was kind of a little bit offsetting. But overall, I'm just kind of nitpicking here. It did a really good job. So the cushioning was on point, and it did its job. So in terms of the upper, the materials you have here is like a fabric, jacquard woven print up top here, and then you have these I wouldn't say they're fly wire. They're just like these fabric. They're supposed to lock down the forefoot of your foot. I'm not sure if they really did anything when I was playing. And then as you can see, they had this rubberized strap here, which didn't really provide any lockdown when I was playing at all. It's just kind of a hindrance because when I was trying to tie my shoes, it kept on going over like that. And I was trying to like put it to the side so I can lace it up. So that was a little bit annoying. And then you do have a thin layer of like hyperfuse, this right here, which is felt really comfortable. And then you have the synthetic backing, kind of feels like this, kind of feels like vinyl. And then you have the rubberized heel counter here. That being said, it did feel kind of heavier, compared to the Kyrie 5, which I felt it was kind of a disservice, especially with this strap here. It didn't provide any real lockdown for me. The laces did a really good job with the lockdown. So I think overall the upper was adequate. They could have done a better job of reducing the amount of items in terms of construction on the upper of the shoe. I do know that Kyrie wanted it to be kind of iconic off the court because he's a big fan of the Nike SB line, and he wanted to this kind of be a bit more fashion forward, and hence why they kind of do look like the Yeezys 2, but it also does look like the Kyrie 5. So performance-wise, in terms of all the materials, wasn't really necessary. I do like the tongue, however. The tongue was really plush and really comfortable. And on top of that, the inside of the shoe was really more padded than the Kyrie 5, which I really appreciated. And you will notice that when you play, that your Achilles sits comfortably on the back of the shoe, and that really goes a long way, especially when you're playing a couple pickup games, like for the 5th time in a row. So the fit of the shoe is true to size. Compared to the Kyrie 5, I had to go up half a size. This one feels a bit more roomier in the forefoot, and then also in the midfoot and the back of the shoe. It was really comfortable. I felt really snug. What really helped was the fact that the padding of the back of the shoe and also the tongue was really comfortable for me. The heel to toe transition was excellent. All the Kyrie shoes in his line so far have great heel to toe transition. And then one thing to also mention was this rubberized section over here on the front of the shoe. It added additional support, especially when you do your banking on the court. So I think the shoe was excellent in terms of fit and heel to toe transition. So these retail for $130. You can definitely go and pick it up if you like it. In terms of performance, compared to the Kyrie 5, I will definitely have to go with the Kyrie 5. And also they're on sale, so you can really get them for up to like $90, depending on which website you go to. And the reason for that is number one, there's really no improvement in terms of performance. The Zoom Air setup was the same. These do feel lower to the ground slightly, which was an added bonus, but the weight of the shoe was really unneeded. But overall, it did a good job. But if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to leave it below. I just want to thank you for taking the time out to take a look at my video. You guys have a great day. Take care.